Yeah, we should piss on it. Yeah. I think that my other favorite scene is whenever Soul's taking the test and Black Star just got crap beat out of him, and he's got the bloody nose, and he's like, Soul thinks he's about to give him the answers to the test, and the time's about to be up, and he's like, yes, it's giving me answers, and he's like, he pulls out a big bloody booger. He's like, he starts drawing on the chalkboard, and he's like, yes, and the bell rings, and he drew his name. My favorite part. That was awesome. I was like, yeah, you should hear the Japanese person also say Excalibur, because that was awesome. Excalibur? Excalibur? That was great. Those are my 3 favorite scenes. I can't pick a lot of favorites, but there's too many. I love them. That was way too fun. Way too fun to record. Yes, Liz? Hey. Well,
I was gonna go with her question, but then she was like, oh, okay.
Well, my favorite one's definitely that one. So, and he says Yahoo all the time. But it's funner when he says, oh my god, when he laughs and his mouth's all like wide open. We had so much trouble doing that. What? That was really fun to do. But honestly, Black Star wrecks my voice up. So whenever I go to cons and stuff, I'm like, I can only do Yahoo once. Because if I keep doing it over and over, I'll be like, hi, Brittany, nice to meet you. Yeah, afterwards.
The setting is, we are in, it's the year 2042. It's in Zaragoza, Spain. The setting is Zaragoza, Spain, inside a hotel in the evening. There's a parade going on, and this is Creed's first international, and Glenn's taking him with him to kind of get the feel of the whole thing. Okay, so here we are. Superimposed Zaragoza, Spain, 2042. Inside the president's suite stands a young Spanish-American guy, Corvus Creed. He's wearing a white tuxedo and stands at the front of a large window, observing the page. Glenn places his hand on Creed's shoulder.
You're an artist, but you're deadlier without them.
Are we set?
Almost. Let me see one of your pistols.
Creed holds out his special revolver, then stops. He glances at the charm that dangles at the butt of the gun, a pair of white angel wings. Creed holsters the revolver and hands Glint the simple .45. Glint grabs the gun, checks the chamber, safety switch.
I remember the day your sister gave you that charm.
A chime sounds, Kendra's hologram hears.
In some ways, it's very, very old, since it's pretty much been going on since the 1800s, since people in Victorian times imagined what the world would be like, and then we continue to imagine on their imaginings based on steam-powered high technology. So, as I said, my name is Michael Butler, and I became involved in steampunk. Well, I've kind of always been a steampunk, because I've always been interested in alternate realities and different kind of fictions, and always been interested in interesting clothing, so I came into the genre through that way. And
my name is Stephen Jacobs, or as you were referred to as Jake. My other name is Andronicus Hephaestus.
My name is Joanne Hoover, and like he said, I am his wife. One of the things that I like about steampunk is we've got very different interests, but we can do these things together. In fact, you are going to hear so many different versions of steampunk. They're different for everybody who does it. What I like about
For the bird!
Yeah.
very active in the fight against piracy and the fight against illegal downloading. Not of everything, just anime, because that's the only thing I'm interested in. And music. I don't like people stealing music, but like video games, porn, pictures, not my interest. So, you know, those things, those industries can take care of themselves. I only worry about music and anime. I'm also a DJ. I DJ Friday night, for those of you that were here for the Zero Day. I had a great time. You guys are wacky. Y'all were so funny. Towards the end of the night, it was really keeping me awake. And I also staff several conventions. It's funny because my friends know I like going to smaller conventions. Like, this is a big, small convention, so this is a perfect size for me, but like, once you get to a certain size, it doesn't feel like a convention anymore. It just feels like a trade show, and you feel like you're in an anthill. So the funny thing is, that's the type of conventions that I end up staffing. One convention I staffed in Boston has 24,000 people. I'm like, how did I end up on this staff? But I'll talk about that later. That one this year ended up with the police getting called on us because our rave got too big. So I've got footage of it I can show y'all later if we have time. Let's see, I started with a little role in a show called Steel Angel Kurumi. I was excited because I was the first person to curse in that show. I was the very first person. I said the P word. And I thought I was just going to be like this little incidental character. You know, sometimes you just meet like a little crew of brats at the beginning of a show, and they're really only in one scene. That's kind of who my character was. In fact, his name was Captain, because they didn't want to call him what was in the Japanese script. He was called Captain Glass's Brat, so they changed that to Captain for some reason. And they kept telling me, you know, come back, you have such a weird voice. We have something for you, you have such a weird voice. And I was just like, thank you. And so I ended up later, they said, would you like to come back and play a villain? And of course I would like to play a villain. Everybody likes playing villains. And the weird thing is they said, okay, you're gonna be sharing this role with Claudia Black, like the hot Australian chick from Farscape. And I'm like, how am I sharing a role with Claudia Black? And basically, in a theme that would follow me the rest of my career, this very yaoi-ish boy appears walking across the water, and he grabs the main character, Nakahito's hand, and he takes him back across the water. And the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, this isn't going anywhere fast. So, the funny thing is, Nakahito is played by Kira Vincent Davis, so it's really not so yaoi because it's a girl playing a boy, and it's, anyway. He's trying to convince Nakahito, who is the owner of, or the master of Kurumi, to kill her, or turn her off. And when my character, Mikhail, doesn't get his way, he pushes Nakahito into a corner and starts kissing him and turns into a giant, very large female robot, and that is Claudia Black. And it's really cool. Which is funny, because she's really short in real life. She's like 5 foot. She's like shorter than me, which is short. I'm pretty short. So, at that point, when that show was over, I was pretty cool with just only ever being in that one show. Like, being an anime fan and then suddenly being in an anime is like, you know, being a Rolling Stones fan and having Jagger call you and be like, hey, we need a drummer tonight, you know? It's kind of that same thing. I was like, wow, okay. And if I never did another anime, I would be fine. And then they called me to audition for this show that was called Paradise Raiders. I can't talk, Paradise Raiders. And I'd never heard of any show like that. And this happens quite a bit with anime. Hello. By the way, you'll find out quickly, I'm super ADD, so the slightest thing totally throws me off. So I went in to audition for the show, and I was reading through the scene that we would be recording. And each studio does auditions differently. With ADD, you actually would see the scene in front of you, and you'd have a script for that scene, and you'd only do the parts for that.